So welcome Strategy Battle Games to another GBHL YouTube video. You're here with your host GBHL Damian, and this is my Into the West tournament journey vlog thing. So this weekend it is currently the is it the 5th? I think the 5th of February, Friday, and this weekend I'm off to the Into the West tournament in Cardiff. So it's my first tournament of the year, which I'm really excited about. I haven't been to one in about 2 months, I guess, since the league final, so that will be pretty cool. And I am currently waiting for Sam Page, Josh Triffitt and Kieran Street to arrive. They're on their way here from Sam's. I think they should be in about half an hour, and then we're going to have a bit of breakfast, and then, or not really breakfast to be honest, it's a bacon sandwich at lunchtime, and then we're going to be heading off to Cardiff for that tournament. And so as ever, I don't really know how these things are going to go. I don't know how much time I'll get, but I'm going to try and shoot some clips with opponents and of the venue and that sort of thing throughout the weekend to give you some idea of what we're getting up to, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm sure we'll discuss the kind of format of the tournament maybe in the car. We might do a bit and chat about those guys' armies, but all that matters for the moment is that it's a 450 point tournament, so it's pretty small. And it's worth 100 points to the league, and I decided I would go along to this one to try and compete. So I've got a force that I think should be quite effective. I was thinking about my classic Ferals and Berserkers, that kind of Isengard army, but ultimately I just don't think the points value is right for it. You end up with 2 full warbands, cost about 390 points, and then you've got 60 points, which you have to spend on another hero without any warriors, which isn't necessarily optimum. So I ultimately decided against that and went for a kind of not a filth, but certainly an optimised elf and dwarf alliance. You can kind of argue for theme because it looks a bit Battle of Five Armies, but this is definitely, as you'll see, there are bits in it that have been picked for the optimisation and the competitiveness rather than just the theme. So yeah, I will show you my army now. And so this is the force I'll be taking for the weekend. So my leader is going to be Thorin Oakenshield, and I have put him on a pony. I haven't taken my pony to a tournament in a while because I think it is quite a kind of competitively optimised option rather than a themey one, but I thought for this tournament it'd do. I know that we're playing the rescue mission, so at one point my general is going to be having to stay alive in the middle, and I figure Thorin Oakenshield with the Oakenshield is a very good stands a very good chance of doing that. So Thorin on a pony with the Oakenshield, and I've also given him Orc Crest because I feel almost certain there's going to be some Goblin Kings around, and so he's going to be incredibly powerful at low points value, and so having Orc Crest could prove key. And he is leading 11 Warriors of Erebor. So I've got 5 converted with Axe and Shield, converted at my Grimhammers, I know you've seen these an awful lot, and then 6 at the back with Spear and Shield. So that's my kind of defense 7 front line, which I think should be quite effective, which would be cool. But yeah, that's going to be my hopefully the ability to shield and the ability to pierce and strike should give me a pretty effective kind of fighting formation, particularly when bolstered by Thorin, who goes from being quite a survivable, dependable leader to an absolute killing machine if he gets the charge off on the pony, which is pretty cool. And then over here I have my second warband, which is led by Legolas. He's just the old-fashioned Legolas with elf cloak and armour, so he'll hide behind the line shooting, and he's got a warband optimised to hopefully do some damage. So it starts off with 4 Mirkwood Rangers on the end who can ignore the bow limit, so that's quite handy, and then 6 Mirkwood Elves with 2 bows, and 4 of these guys have glaives, and they also have shields, which I'm going to put on their back. So it's quite good because it's a warband of 10, but because the Mirkwood Rangers roll, I managed to get 6 shots into that. And with Legolas offering up another 3 shots, that should, I think, 9 elf shots at strength 3, particularly with and Legolas's ability to auto hit something, should be quite effective at 450 points, hopefully, because I don't think there'll be too many blinding lights or pool of darknesses around or anything like that. So hopefully that'll be quite good. And they obviously will be behind these guys. So the Mirkwood Rangers will be safe because their elven cloaks will mean that people can't target them. And hopefully the 2 squishy defense 4 Mirkwood Elves will just be that little bit more survivable behind the defense 7 front line. And obviously these guys with the glaives will be spear supporting these guys, so you'll have a defense 7 fight 5 line if it all comes off. So that's kind of the plan. We had to pick it without any knowledge of the scenarios, so I've got no idea whether... I haven't actually read the scenarios, to be honest, now since they've been released, so I've got no idea whether this army will be any good, but that's what I'll be bringing. Thorin leading 11 Warriors Variable, and Legolas leading 10 Elves. So, yeah, we'll see how it gets on, and fingers crossed. And we're back.
Hi.
Kieran.
Good evening.
It's been a while. It's been several hours since I last spoke to you.
When did you last speak to them?
It was before you guys got here.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Before the alcohol.
Before the alcohol.
That was like over 12 hours ago.
It was some hours ago, and I was saying you were about to arrive.
Yes.
And then we're going to come to Cardiff. Now we're in Cardiff. Here it is, all around us.
Yes.
All this beige is Cardiff.
Yeah, very beige.
Classic Cardiff beige.
That's what you think when you hear Cardiff beige.
Yeah, and you heard through my army, and we've had a great evening. We're going to have some steak, and we've had some drinks.
Yes.
And now we're back in the party, as it were. Sam, what are you bringing to the tournament?
Models.
Mm-hmm.
Thorin, Feely, Keely, Tariel, and Bilbo. All the new versions.
That's some sort of Team Ravenhill.
Team Ravenhill revisited. Because I fancy penning up Bilbo. And Dwalin was 5 points too expensive.
Nightmare.
So Bilbo it is, and 10 points under.
Kieran.
Yeah.
Have you seen Kieran down there?
Ahoy, hoy.
Oh, there he is. He's that arm.
Kieran, what have you got with you? Well,
Some sort of weather top.
Strong.
But the kind of evil guys who turn up there.
Yeah.
That's the kind of army I've gone with. Like, it might be the Witch King and 5 Black Riders.
4 Black Riders.
4.
Yeah, 5 Black Riders in total.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
You have 5 rows on a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, what, max might.
Max might, max fate, nothing else.
So the box stats are 7 will each.
Yep.
35 will points.
Well,
Oh,
I
it's
10 with
Witch-
the Witch
yeah.
King, so you get another 3 with him.
You're well in.
Yeah. Thrash everybody.
To be honest, it's filth, really, you know.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what Spellcast do. What are you going to do?
Cast Black Darts with all 5 wraiths every turn.
Right.
Solid. That's a solid plan. And then Tariel come out of nowhere and saved him. So he didn't actually die. Tariel went mad for Bilbo, not Feely. Keely. And then there was one.
Alright, so here we are, and it is Saturday morning. You last saw us, I think, in the hotel room last night. Although I believe I fell asleep, so we'll have to see how that comes out. And I'm here with Mr. James Scullion. How you doing, man?
Alright, yeah, sound.
We've never met before, never played.
No.
And we will be meeting in the first game, which is Rescue, which is pretty cool because you don't see this an awful lot. And here is everyone else. By the way, there's lots of people there. I don't know who that guy is. This is the first round, and in the first round, seeded players automatically are the attacker, which apparently is me. So my guys here will be charging into Gimli's warband, I believe. He's a new. Into Gimli's warband, trying to kill Gimli, that's all that matters to me, and James will be trying to break me, and that's all that matters. I predict a draw. But yeah, we'll get into that now and see what happens. Don't fall asleep, Damian. So here we are after the game, and it was great.
It was good, yeah.
Really enjoyed that. As it turned out, a lot tenser than it looked like it was going to be.
Yeah.
So it started off as we saw me trying to kill Gimli, and charged in with largely my dwarves, supported by elves to get the
Thorin, hugely.
Yeah, Thorin was awesome. I think on one turn I managed to kill a load of dwarves. Next turn, Thorin charged into Gimli turn 2. We didn't heroic strike, because we both decided it was already 50-50.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Sure.
And then Thorin managed to, because he had his pony, knock Gimli down and kill him in one.
Yeah.
Which was amazing.
Yeah, and then it ended up being a bit of a retreat.
Yeah, because at that point I thought, this is great.
That's 3 victory points in the bag.
And I'd only lost 1 or 2 models, and I was thinking, all I've got to do now is survive.
Yeah.
And then you had, as I started reforming the battle line to deal with Barlin's rule, you had 1 turn.
Yeah, we killed 4.
I think you killed 5. You killed 5 models in 1 turn.
Yeah, which swung it back.
Yeah, and suddenly turned my imposing wall into a
Bit of a difference.
running away, screaming mess.
Yeah.
Legolas managed to auto-hit Barlin and take his fate point without using any mines, which was brilliant. Roll 6 and roll 4. My shooting then didn't do anything for the rest of the game. That was the only damage I did by shooting. The dwarfs outshot me.
Yeah, they did. I took out a few ranges.
And then I managed to get onto Barlin with Thorin and Legolas.
Yeah.
Charge him and trap him. Did heroic strike. And Barlin didn't get the 6. He didn't go to roll.
No, I didn't get the 6, yeah.
Knocked him down and killed him, which is handy, taking out your might.
Yeah, that's my point on the table for me.
But then, I was faced with a really tricky dilemma of needing to kill you,
Yeah, to get
to
down
break you and get you 25%,
Yeah.
but also not the only thing that mattered in this, to break you and get you 25% to end the game, not because of a VP score. The rescue is very, very bizarre.
Yeah, and then I just needed to break to pick up entry point.
Yeah. And so I started kind of backing off, leaving a couple of dwarfs to shoot to hold you off, and Thorin, who was still on his pony.
Still there, yeah.
And thankfully, Thorin had 1 turn which was a bit of a dip, where he lost a fight, he rolled the 4 highest and took a route. But other than that, he was an absolute action and was chopping through the dwarfs. And in the very last turn, he got swamped by 6 dwarfs. He had no might.
Yeah, that was
And I was 1 model away from breaking.
so needed to win everything to kind of pierce the striking.
Thankfully, Thorin, in true Dudecar style, got the 6 and knocked it down. It wasn't, even though he had 4 attacks with double strikes, he still only just killed the 2. That got to 25%, and so it ended with a win. But of course, if he'd lost that fight, he would have gone down and you would have got 3 positions. So right down to the wire. Far closer than we thought it would be after turn 2, but it was a 3-0 victory to him. So yeah, but great game. It was really, really good. And I went into that thinking I'm going to be pleased if I come out of this with a draw. I think the draws like
I think that was the good stuff.
so I'm very tough for that. So thank you very much. I'm now going on to defend. And this is how the table ended. You will have heard us just now having a chat about how the game ended, but there is Thorin victorious with 4 knockdown dwarfs, minus the 2 that he'd killed, with a dwarf warrior and a bowman left. And here is the rest of my army beating a hasty retreat, which thankfully they were able to do. So here we are at the end of game 2, and I'm joined by Mr. Dave Farmer. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Not so well.
Spoilers. It's a new face for the channel. And we just had the second game, which was rescue again, but flipped. So you must have won your first game?
Yeah, I won the defence because they could kill the troll.
Because your leader was this guy, Troll Chieftain. So presumably he's quite hard to take out.
Oh, definitely. Unless you have health.
So yeah, we were both on 1 win, so we played, and I was defending. So in this one, I had to try and break David's army, which we'll show you in a minute. Actually, it's Moranon's base, isn't it?
Yeah, Moranon's Shagrat and Gorbag, and the Troll Chieftain leading a squad of Moranons.
Yeah. So your numbers are slightly down because of Troll Chieftain, but a lot of power in there. We actually had very similar numbers, like 24 and 23.
24, 23.
Cool. Yeah, so I was trying to break that army, and you were trying to wound or kill Thorin. So, I felt quite good going into it because I thought Thorin's quite survivable.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't know if I'd be able to break you, but I was like, he should be alright. Started off with me moving for 1 warband that was exposed, with the chieftain in, and Thorin's pony doing a good bit of damage I think, for 2 turns.
4 or 5.
Yeah, he killed a few runners, which got me on the board early. Then you beat a dwarf in combat and hurled through the pony.
Yeah, well, that was the plan from the start.
Yeah,
it took a bit longer than I thought.
So the Thorin's then on this Todd, which isn't actually the worst thing. Because I was thinking about this before the game. If things got dicey, it would probably be worth my while dismounting Thorin, so that he can use the open shield.
They didn't think of that.
but it's kind of, equally on the pony he's faster.
He's also more capable of breaking me and getting away.
Exactly. So then I saw a chance that I was really happy about to kill the Troll Chieftain, and I managed to get 3 dwarfs, an elf with a glaive, Legolas and Thorin, and 3 spear supports, all on the Troll. I called a heroic strike with Legolas and Thorin to make sure that I got to. I beat you called a heroic strike.
Heroic strike matched it. All 10s.
Yeah, we got to 10. You rolled a 6.
Yeah.
I rolled a 6. We got to the roll off. I had an elf blade in there, so the roll off was a 1 or a 2, and we got it. Which made me feel a bit ill, because then obviously the Troll then rended Thorin, which was quite upsetting. And thankfully for me, in terms of the victory conditions, he passed his fate.
I don't like to think about that. Because it could have just been,
Could have been so different, he passed his fate, but he used all of them. So suddenly Thorin's on 3 wounds, no fate, and I'm thinking, oh god. And it was also a very good chance to beat the Troll.
Yeah.
Next turn, I wasn't killing too many of the orcs either. I think we were killing a few.
Quite a lot of defence, like lucky, bad wounding rolls on the defence 6.
Yeah. Next turn, I went back on him, but not with Thorin, because I couldn't risk Thorin this time. So it was like, I think it was Legolas, 3 dwarfs, 2 elves, and 1 two-handed guy. The other 2 elves were supporting.
Yeah.
Another heroic strike off, using Legolas's last might, I think, and the Troll Chieftain's last might, and disaster strikes for me when I rolled a 3, and you got to 10.
Yeah.
Which was awful. So I was thinking, right, Legolas is dead or something.
Yeah.
And then he only rolls a 5 for the Troll.
That was tragic.
Which gives me sudden hope. I managed to get the 6 and think, between 3 dwarfs, piercing, striking, and legging, I should do this. But thankfully, I didn't worry. Because my 1 elf who went 2-handed, who now needs 5s by 3s, did 2 wounds on the Troll Chieftain.
That's to think about. No fate save either.
Yeah, failed the fate.
Failed the fate. So down to 1 wound from 1 guy.
And then I think, I don't think it was the dwarfs, was it Legolas maybe?
No, it was Legolas. It wasn't the dwarves.
Killing the chieftain, which was awesome for me and a huge thing in terms of the battle, I suppose. And then what I started doing was I was very, very worried about Thorin, so I started kind of retreating, trying to protect Thorin a bit. But you did get 1 heroic move roll off, I think, with Gorbag. And Gorbag with a spear support in range of Vanna got into him and won the fight against him.
Yeah.
Which was terrifying, because again, very unlikely. He's 3 attacks. I think Gorbag was fainting. He wouldn't have been fainting.
No, because he was.
He had no mind.
Because I rolled a 6. Yeah, I was quite lucky.
But probably unlikely to kill him. A definite chance of doing a wound. But thankfully, didn't. And then after that, I think the turn off that you broke. I finally managed to break it.
Because that was like my last ditch hope. That was my last. If this is my last chance to get any victory points, I'm not going to kill him, but I could hurt him. And after that, he sort of pulls back. My orcs start dying, and that was the turn I broke. And then after that,
I won priority.
Yeah.
Charge Shagrat, charge Gorbag, and then I think
7 out of 8
or 7 or something fled the board, reducing it to 25%.
Shagrat got killed by Legolas.
Yeah, in the last turn, Legolas killed Shagrat. It was a 3-0 win to me. So very tough with that. Very happy to have come through those 2 rescue missions with wins. And now I believe it's some sort of taking hold variant. Is that right?
I couldn't tell you.
But great game again. Like, it was one of those weird ones where, again, as soon as I killed the Troll, I thought, all right, I've got this now. And then actually was like, no, I haven't got this.
Nearly a draw.
Yeah, very, very nearly a draw.
I'll take that.
So well played, mate. Thanks again. Really appreciate it. It's a lovely army, and we'll show you the finishing positions now and the army. And so this is how the game ended. The kind of battle lines were around here, kind of where the dwarfs were. That's where they were fighting the orcs. You can see Legolas is in the middle there. He just killed Shagrat. And over here, Thorin was kind of beating a hasty retreat. And there were 3 orcs left. Is that right? Gorbag. Gorbag was there, and 2 orcs were what survived after a disastrous turn of courage test.
Yeah.
And that was the end. And these are the. Spin around. This is the army. It's a rather beautiful Troll Chieftain. It's rather nice. And then a cool, nicely themed sort of Cirith Ungol army, I guess.
Yeah.
With loads and loads of Morannons. Nice Shagrat in there.
and an unfinished banner bearer.
An unfinished
But I was going to do the insignia on it, but this was yesterday and I was running low on time.
So yeah, it's cool little army that.
Yeah.
Very effective as well, I think, in terms of having Shagrat in there. Even the little version's good.
Yeah. He is very points efficient, I think, with the shield.
Cool. So yeah, cheers for the game, mate. Really appreciate it. And now we're going to get some lunch.
Yeah.
And so here I am at the start of game 3, and I'm open joined against Mr. Ian Spiller. How you doing, Ian?
Very well.
Familiar face from the channel, and we've actually never played, which is quite cool, and I would be quite excited about and looking forward to. But unfortunately, this is about to be the worst hour and a half of my life, because the scenario is Taken hold. Which is essentially hold ground for our purposes, but with a standard deployment instead of a maelstrom of battle. And so it's about how many models you get in the centre. And here is my army of 23 guys. And there is Ian's army of
67.
67 models. So your break point is comfortably above my starting number.
Yes.
That is spectacular. So yeah, I'm going to try and outnumber these guys. And you can see him smiling away. So to give us a bit of context, over there on the table next to us on table 1, we have 2 armies playing whole ground that have 3 models. We've got the Eagles and we've got the Felby, so that would have been fine. That'd be all right. But they're quite pleased with the way that turned out. But no, I get to try and outnumber the Hobbits. So I will sit here and I will do my best fake smile for you for the next hour and a half, and then go tumbling down the tables. So here we are after the game. Let me just give you a bit of perspective. It's the end of the game, and no spoilers, so we might as well talk about it. So we deployed about 12 inches apart, I think.
Yeah, because I deployed on my line.
I figured the defence 7 of the dwarfs would probably mean that I could actually outshoot them for a bit, for all the good it would do, you know. So we did that, and I got some good early casualties.
Yeah, you killed quite a few with shoots.
Like the first few turns.
I didn't kill many with shoots, like 2 or 3.
The first couple of turns, I seemed to remember taking down maybe 4 or 5 turns for 9 shots, which was pretty pleased with. Then I decided, ultimately, he threw 27 stones at me and did no damage, so I was like, I can't have that again. I've got to go in and just try and chop my way through them. And I think what had given me hope was because you had so many models, the table was actually spread out, so you had a warband on each flank, and only, 40 hobbits in the middle? And I thought, go for it, see what happens. Managed to get rid of some of your heroes quite early because you charged them in to hold me up.
You dismounted them so they weren't really worth much.
That was a very good move on your part, though, because they're not worth anything to you in this game.
No.
You're just charging forward. And as a result of that, actually, it did work because Thorin had to use 2 might to win a fight against Merry and Pippin. Just so, because otherwise, inevitably, they would have killed his pony and wanted to keep his pony alive. But sadly, a few days later, the pony died, and I think, again, that was a pretty big swing.
Yeah.
I've got Thorin charging 2 every time, right?
It made your army a lot smaller. So just
I thought your 67 hobbits made my army look a lot smaller.
a bit, yeah.
But you were then kind of, I suppose, gradually falling back towards the objective. And I thought I was doing all right. I never felt like I was winning, but in terms of kills, you know, I'd lost about 10 models when I'd killed about 30 kills or something. What was the total I killed? I killed 30 total. And to break you, I needed 34. So I nearly broke it, which, you know, is potentially a very big kill, and I'm quite pleased. Against 67 models to have killed 30. But gradually my numbers were getting more damage, so you had more and more hobbits on each fight. I had one horrendous turn when I was trying to get you towards the breaking point. And I think I won 7 combats with the dwarves, and they didn't kill a single hobbit. It's like not what I need. But I don't know, you always had about sort of 20, 30 hobbits between me and the objective, so it never felt like I was about to suddenly turn it and win, but I think it still felt closer than I thought it would.
Yeah, I think it would have been interesting to see what happened if it
Yeah, because that's going to be important. This custom scenario ends when one first broken roll 1 or 2. I think, optimistically, if you never ever roll 1 or 2s, I could win that eventually.
Yeah,
I think Thorin and the
heroes
dwarves.
would just. But then I would probably catch some right back to strike against and things like that.
As it was, times called, and it was pretty close in the end because Ian had 29 models within 6 inches of the objective, and I had 1 model. And he broke me for some bonus points, so it ended up 32-1. Well done. A very well deserved victory with a very good force that I'm quite pleased to not now have to play. This is a horrible, horrible draw for me there, coming up against that.
In that scenario, it's impossible for you to win basically in an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's time. Because if there was no limit as well, I think I could have just stood off and shot like, for a lot longer.
Yeah.
But then it forces the payoff for that is you come to me and you're on the other side of the objective.
Yeah.
Which is
That's the thing. I think as soon as I was sort of 6 inches over the objective, enough to.
so, from my point of view, I get my first loss, which in terms of winning the tournament isn't in the world. I severely doubt whoever wins 7 games. I doubt whoever wins 7 will win all 7. So I can't really afford another loss at this point if I want to go and win it, I reckon. But you, of course, 3 wins now. And I think you're one of only 2 people. On VP, yeah. So, having seen the table next to us, the dream lineup for me, Ed managed to beat Chris Murphy with a horrendously lucky courage test. I think it was really, really close. And in the last turn, Wahir, courage 6, failed his courage test and legged it, which gave the game to Ed, which is fairly awful ending. But I think Ian will now. Ian's now going to be playing Ed. It's the recon variant. That's for the next game. Congratulations. I don't know if congratulations on a solid win, and fingers crossed we finish with 4 wins. Now we'll show you the ending positions.
Have you asked his dad permission to film his son since he's underage?
I have not. But I don't think he asked his dad permission to beat the
He's given that permission. I'm sure he does.
And so here are the final positions of that game. You can see the token on the far right is the objective, and you can see a big wall of hobbits here, and my embattled survivors in the middle here.
Not as big as it was though.
No, it's not as big as it was. So I had Thorin, Dwarf, Legolas, Elf, and then 3 Dwarfs. That's what was left of my army. So we're putting up a good fight, and yeah, only 37 hobbits left. Could have been mine. Should have been mine. But yeah, that's how the game ended. Okay, and here we are at the start of Game 4, and I've been drawing against Mr. Dewey Evans. How you doing?
I'm alright.
Is it Dewey? Dewey.
Yeah.
All right. Who's a new face for the channel?
Yes, first tournament.
First tournament?
Local, well, ex-local club because of uni, but yeah, generally this is where I used to play.
I've seen you a lot on the Facebook group and I don't know, maybe YouTube. The name's very familiar.
Blog and the Middle and Earthing, and yeah, a few comments here and there.
Cool.
And posts on the GBHL.
So, you enjoying your first tournament?
Yes, very much so.
And how are you getting on so far?
Won the last game, lost the game before that, and the first game, kind of a technical victory because Kieran charged his ring race in and they popped.
So two wins and a loss, same as me, which is probably why we've been drawing against each other.
Yes.
At Breakthrough, which is a custom scenario for this tournament, which is quite cool and quite exciting. I played this last night. It's quite interesting. What basically happens is you both pick a warband. So this is Dewey's fantastic fiefdoms force. One of the warbands of it at least. And I've got my dwarfs over there. You both pick a warband and then you deploy that 9 inches on from your opponent's table.
Yes.
And they are our spies. So these guys here are now trying to run off Dewey's edge, and my dwarfs are trying to run off my edge. And the rest of our armies will come on as normal recon.
Yes.
So it's going to be a very interesting balance of trying to kill the enemy but get your models off, but only one warband. And each one of those models that gets off is worth 2 VPs.
Yes.
So yes, that's what we'll do, and we will crack on with it.
Yep.
And here we are after Game 4 at the end of Day 1, and what was a spectacularly good game.
Incredibly tense, I feel.
Yeah.
Incredibly tense.
So, How did you feel like when you were starting? What was
The starting plan was Imrahil was going to try and go and get as many off whilst covering some of the doors.
Yeah.
Just so mine died, some of yours died, swords, and I'd just pep you with a few arrows and try and get my other knights on foot to you, which kind of happened.
I was very, very happy when you saw the deployment board before the other warbands had come in, and I brought on my elves right behind the Dollar Moth, and Dewey brought on his archers in the middle of the board, and I was really happy with that because I was terrified you were going to come on behind me and start chasing me. Because you were saying that you were worried that I'd turn around and kill you. There's no, in that scenario, there's no way.
I thought you would have left a few, because they're incredibly high defence compared to my.
Well, maybe.
That's what I thought. I wouldn't get as many shots off it.
But I was thinking that's all right for this turn. So I can just keep walking down here. Had a great start with Legolas auto hitting
2 might to
killed Imrahil's horse. 2 might, probably worth it. I think. Don't massively regret that.
No.
And I had some pretty effective shooting for a couple of turns.
Yeah, you plucked off 4, 3 or 4.
Reduced the warband to about 8 or something.
Yes.
Leggy then auto hit another knight's horse.
Yeah.
Killed that, which was handy. And then our kind of spy warbands clashed and started scrapping. And very quickly, I think, I got the upper hand in it.
Yes.
Largely due to Thorin kind of charging
you ended
to...
up with Thorin about 6 dwarves versus Imrahil on foot by that point.
Yeah.
A knight who was still on his horse.
Yeah.
A knight on foot and 2 knights.
And then I sent support in from my 4 glaives, from my elf warband.
Yes.
And you sent support in from your 4 men at arms.
4 knights of arms.
Yeah.
They managed to, eventually, after walking the long way around the forest.
And I definitely had the upper hand for a long part of it, and I genuinely I started having enough numbers to send dwarfs off running. And I can't remember quite what order it happened in, but I got 2 of them off very early.
2 off very quickly.
I was 4 up,
and another one followed about 3 to 4 turns later.
And I was thinking, I was genuinely starting to think about this. I've got this now.
Yeah, I thought you
Your only spies left with 2 men at arms,
2 men at arms, and 1 knight. Yes.
And I had like 2 on every one of them.
Yeah.
And then for about 3 turns or something, I just couldn't
3 or 4 turns.
I couldn't kill any of them.
Nope, they all survived.
There was a great moment with Imrahil.
Knocked to the floor.
Yeah, by Thorin charging on a pony and an elf.
Yes.
And you chose...
I got 5 highest. And
I got 6.
You got 6.
We were tied fight.
And
you had a might point.
And you had the Elven Blade.
Yeah.
With Orcus.
Yeah. And you decided not to use the
Not
might.
to use might and save it for a heroic move so I can get up next turn.
Despite the fact you're facing 8 attacks from Thorin, 6 rerolling 1s, and 2 attacks from the elf, 5 rerolling 1s.
Yes, because I went 2 minutes.
And that paid off for you, because I did...
Naught.
Did I do 0? So I didn't take fate.
No, big naught.
Nothing on him, which was incredibly upsetting and quite frustrating. But I was like, at that point, still, that's fine. He's on the floor.
Imrahil's on the floor. And then the next turn, I called my heroic move to get Imrahil up.
And you won the roll off.
No, you won the roll off.
I won the roll off.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
No, Imrahil's still... And then I shielded on the floor.
Yes, you shielded was what got you up. Because Imrahil eventually gets up. And I made a decision, because by then these other 4 foot knights have come in, to send Thorin to kill them, because he's strength 4. It's very good at killing them.
Legolas came across as well.
So rather than to get the numbers to break you a bit quicker, that was the kind of thinking. And then I think it was probably about that time that your rangers came in.
I started to gradually move them up 3x3, shooting at who I could. Probably elves. Trying to get a few cheeky wounds.
And of course, at that point, I was doing the maths in my head. I had 4 off. I nearly had 3 off. Sorry, I had 2 off. I nearly had 3 off.
Yeah.
And I was thinking I can probably cope with
one more coming.
Are you going? All right. And I was thinking I probably could cope with losing a few more guys. But what then happened was I broke first, which didn't have a huge impact thanks to throwing the leg. I got 1 more off.
And then you had another coming down the side.
And then suddenly, because you won priority about 3 turns in a row, and those
if I didn't, I had done it here because he moved in and he was the only one left on the table.
And you also trapped Thorin and struck and did a wound on him.
Yes, that's right. I struck to equal fight.
He did three.
Managed to win.
He did 3 wounds on him. He saved 2 with fate. Yeah, he did a wound on him. He didn't do a wound on my leader. Then, because you won priority 3 times in a row, and Thorin was off his pony, so he wouldn't do as much damage. Your 4 remaining spies started legging it towards the water and managed to kind of get through. And this ring of rangers went around them. And I was thinking, it's still probably alright. We're still probably alright.
Put you back. Can we set your stuff?
Yeah. Is it waiting now?
Yeah.
Alright. Should we finish this tomorrow? Alright? Yeah, I'll just remember where we were and then we'll edit it. So unfortunately, as I was editing this fairly monster hobby vlog together, I realised that me and Dewey didn't actually sit down and go through the rest of the game at the end of on day 2. So we just totally forgot there wasn't an awful lot of time that we had. So sorry about that. But hopefully he won't mind if I finish it off because I think it's quite exciting. So as we just said, Dewey had these 4 models, his spies, that were able to break through and start heading for the board edge, which suddenly had me panicking because almost out of nowhere, having felt like I was pretty much in charge, these 4 models were now running through. It was Imrahil and 3 knights. And what I also realised was that Imrahil, who I think still had all his will at this point, was also, even though he's broken, going to stop them running with his high courage and through his standfast. So suddenly it became, I think I had 2 models off at this point, or maybe I had 3 off with 1 more heading towards the board edge, and he had these 4 running through it. We were both broken, and suddenly it became an actually very, very tense climax to the game. And I remember Legolas managed to snipe one of them off the edge of the board, which was an incredibly big moment for me. I remember being very, very excited about that. But Dewey was still able to get Imrahil and 2 other guys off. So he had 3 off for 6 VPs. I had 3 dwarfs off for another 6 VPs. We had both broken, so that was 7 all. And Dewey had wounded Thorin. So that meant Dewey was winning 8-7. But I still had the game on my racket because I had 1 more dwarf who was 4 inches from the table edge. And as the last, what would obviously be the last turn, because all of Dewey's models I think had moved off the table edge, what was clearly going to be the last roll of dice, I picked up my 2 dice for the dwarf's courage test. It was 8-7 to Dewey. Every model that moved off was worth 2 VPs. So if he got off, I would win 9-8. And if he failed his courage test, Dewey would win 8-7. And there was it was awesome, there was a huge crowd gathered by this point because our game had gone the distance. There must have been about 10 people watching because the last few turns have been so tense and so exciting. And I chucked my courage test and with horror realised that I'd rolled a 4 and that the dwarf, mere inches from safety, legged it from the table. It was a disaster. So he ran, which then meant Dewey won the game 8-7 because of my 1 scaredy cat dwarf. So yeah, that was the end of the game, and it was absolutely brilliant. It was really, really good. I loved it. It would be very easy to, it's one of those games where you like, it's a single dice roll at the end of the game that kind of determines who wins, which is amazing. But Dewey was such a great opponent. He got my most sporting vote as well. I had a lot of great games over the weekend, but that one was just, it was played in such great spirits. He was a really nice bloke, and yeah, it was a really great end. So sadly for me, it didn't come off, and I lost on the last throw of the game, which left me on, is that 2 wins? I'm recording this a long time after now, I can't remember. I think 2 wins and 2 losses for day 1. And now we'll go and show you the final positions on the table. And that's how the board ended. That is all that's left on the board. Thorin, Legolas and an elf. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. These 3 dwarfs escaped. These 3 Dolan North escaped. And the wound on Thorin proved decisive. What a game.
Well played. They're matching.
It's cute.
Yeah. You didn't tell me you was wearing your t-shirt.
God, one of us will have to change.
Yeah.
And so here we are back in the hotel room. It's now Saturday night.
It is.
And we're doing a little bit of hobby vlogging,
yes,
tournament vlogging, of a similar level of quality to the one last night.
Yeah. Less drunk.
I am.
You are.
I am decided.
Good.
I'm sorry, children, if you've seen that clip. I haven't reviewed it properly yet, so I don't know, you might be in. But yeah, I wasn't drunk, I was just tired.
Yeah,
I think was it.
Yeah.
But yes, that was last night, and tonight we're back, having just had a lovely night out.
Yes.
In Cardiff.
Yeah, we was in Bill's,
Mm.
of which there are 2 in Cardiff, and our taxi driver took us to the other one. So we had to quick march across Cardiff.
That's a strong we there. That nonsense didn't involve me.
Yeah, no, that was me, Kieran, and Josh.
So after the day, you guys went back to the hotel.
Yeah, we came back here and literally crashed for about 3 hours. We all got a couple of hours sleep.
Whereas I went with the Scots and a few of the other guys to Wetherspoons.
Yeah.
And had like a pint of Coke and then a bottle of beer. And I was like gradually beginning to feel better,
Yeah. And a curry.
Yeah, and a curry for starters. $2.99.
A sneaky curry.
$2.99.
It's not a tournament
Classic
weekend without
Wales.
curry, is it?
Yeah, exactly. $2.99 for curry, rice, naan bread and 2 poppadoms. That's insane.
Yeah.
You can't go to the bar, see that and not order one.
No.
And that was at 7:15 and the table for food was booked at 9. So I thought, yeah, I'm starving. I could have a curry now. That'll be a starter. So yeah, I had a curry. We were in there for a couple of hours and then we went to Bill's and then you guys came and joined us.
Yes, yeah.
And it was lovely.
It was really good. Just spoke to quite a few people.
Yeah, we were on different tables actually.
Yeah, we took up basically that whole end section, didn't we? 2 big tables, but everyone was intermingling and talking, which is always nice.
I was having a chat with Dewey, who you'll have seen just smash me in the last game, and James Scullion, who I'll be in the first one, and Ali and Larry and David Reed were around me. But it was very nice. It was really nice. That's 2 nights in a row. I don't know if we mentioned this last night. That we've gone to nice restaurants, like not.
You didn't mention a lot last night.
Like kind of you know, normally the food's good. You know, you go for a curry or a Chinese buffet or something. So it's normally something that's easy to serve a lot of people.
Yeah.
Whereas both nights we've gone to just really nice restaurants, really.
Yeah, but that's Alistair for you.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Last night steak and red wine. Tonight lamb koftas.
Yeah.
It was really really lovely.
Ribs.
Ribs. So that was lovely.
Yeah.
So very good, and we ended up. Because there's 2 of the guys took a while to get there, I don't think we ordered till like 10.
Yeah.
We were eating at 10.
We didn't arrive till about 9:15, and we were sitting there at least 20 minutes before the others turned up.
I think the food started coming out around 10, which is kind of crazy. So I'm glad I had my emergency curry.
Yeah.
Because that was, 3.5 hours.
Emergency bag of Doritos.
Yeah. So that was very lovely, and then we finished there at about 11.
Yeah.
And you are normally a bit of a early to bed.
Yeah.
Early to rise, early to bed. And I was very much I feel better now, and I don't want to ruin that.
Yeah, I quite like to stay that way.
Yeah, I was like, you know what, I think a decent night's sleep would be good.
Yeah, so that's why we are sans Kieran.
Yeah, because Kieran, crazy boy that he is, has stayed out with the other guys.
Yeah, so he won't be getting let in later.
He's got a 2 a.m. curfew.
He does.
Right?
Yeah, that's when I said I'd get up to let him back in.
Cool.
I don't expect to see him.
I will not get back up to let him in. So yeah, it's been a cracking night out. How was your day one?
It's been a mixed bag. I mean, ultimately it's been good. So I've had 4 good games and playing people I've not really played before.
All 4 of my games were against people I haven't played.
I think 3 of mine were. So I played David Farmer. David Farmer
with the Troll Chiefs then?
Yes, with the Troll Chief. So I played him first at Rescue where I was attacking, and that's to kill his Troll Chief.
It's quite tough.
It is. I mean, Thorin, Feely, Keely, Tariel, and Master Burglar Bilbo. So you
ring him.
Yeah. Well, there's only one way you can play it, and I played it right, but so I got everyone onto the Troll Chief, heroic combats across the board to get him in, higher fight. No Bilbo, but didn't need it because I was higher fight. And then on 10 dice, rolled a 4 highest.
Oh,
and I think I might have got 1-5, and that was with Tario, who had burnt 3 might getting into the Troll Chieftain. So I couldn't even might it up. And after that, the other warband of orcs caught up.
Yeah, sure.
And the might went and...
You've got that one go, haven't you?
Yeah. And if I kill him then, it's game on.
Yeah.
Because the Troll Chief, I can take on orcs.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of orcs. There's like this base little Shagrat and little...
little Gorbag. And then
I played him in second rescue.
So you've already probably talked about his army. But so that was expected, to be honest.
Yeah. That's why it's going to be tough.
It was a good game, and he said he was quite new, so I was giving him hints and tips, and there's probably no point calling heroic at this point because I'm actually in a bad position. So
Didn't work out well for you, did it?
no, no, I should stop helping my opponents beat me. My second game was against Nathan from Ripon, that way. With his,
I've never played Nathan. He's another one.
he's nice.
I've never played Will either.
I've never played ball. But his matchup, it was a much better matchup for me because it was squishy wood else.
Great.
So I was killing on fours. Even Bilbo was
Do
killing
you know
on
what
fours.
you have? You,
I did say a minute ago.
yeah.
So Thorin Oaken Shield, King Under the Mountain, and then Feely Keely Champions of Erebor, Tarion Mirkwood Exile, and Bilbo Master Bowler.
Team Ravenhill.
Team Ravenhill.
Team Ravenhill rise again.
Yes. My favourite Warrior Force. I have so much fun using it. So yeah, obviously playing Nathan, it was a much better matchup because I was defending. So obviously got
to kill Thorin, yeah. Thorin's my leader, so
yeah.
I was quite like, having defended with Thorin, I was like, I'll defend with that.
Yeah, but you've obviously got the Oaken Shield, whereas mine's King Under the Mountain.
Ah, of course.
And it was good. I mean, I kind of hopped over some fences because he had a few archers, but they didn't really do a lot. I killed a lot of elves. I managed to break him, but in the last turn, he killed Thorin.
Oh no!
He was able to swamp him with Leggy and Thranduil, despite Bilbo's heroic combat the turn before to take Thranduil off.
Bilbo heroic combat.
So Bilbo had the ring on, was in combat with one elf, killed the elf, ran into Thranduil, who probably led the smackdown on Bilbo. But that was quite cool.
Bilbo charging in to save Thorin's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then got hit. And yeah, in the last turn he was able to get the jump on Thorin and unfortunately kill him. So that was a 3-all draw.
Yeah. That scenario, having played it twice, and as you saw in the thing, I think I was lucky to get wins in both of them. It's so easy to do one part of your objective, but then so easy to concede the draw.
Yeah.
I find like going all out to kill the general if you're attacking is quite easy against an army, but you normally lose a bunch of resources.
Yeah.
And then not breaking against the rest of the army is tough. And then similarly, if you're defending, I think keeping your general alive can be easy.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, that, but then trying to break when probably your most powerful model can't fight.
Well, that's it. If I'm hiding Thorin, that's 3 might, 3 attacks, 3 wounds that isn't fighting.
Yeah.
But that was a really fun game. If I had killed a few elves the turn before, it would have ended, and then obviously Thorin would have been alive. But it's if buts and maybes.
I quite like it as a scenario though. Rescue doesn't come up a lot.
I think the reason it doesn't come up is because it works on a 6x4. And obviously a lot of the tournaments are 4x4, so you have to work out the measurements.
I thought what Ali did was alright. I mean, it's only
2 inches, I think.
Because was it going to be a 6x4?
Yeah.
If you wanted to, you can just deploy along the long edges, so the things are exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're on a 6x4, the attacker would never deploy. Sorry, the defender would never deploy on the short edges.
No.
They've got further to go.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think you need to reduce the ranges for it.
No, I think what it is everyone kind of sees the prize as it is in the book, so they don't really look at the other ones.
I mean, it is a bit odd that you have, it's literally I have to do this, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And they kind of clash, but I think it's quite fun. I think it's quite dynamic.
I think the reason I've often left it for my events is it throws in a lot of draws, which then messes up all the rankings because what you'll find is people who draw will then be paired against each other.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, that's a conversation for another time. My third game was against... Was that Kieran? Can't remember. What was the third one was?
Blockade? Was it Breaks? No, Breaks was the last one.
Oh, so it was Taking Hold.
Oh, it's
so yeah, I was playing Kieran.
Blocked out the Hobbit horror.
Yes. Yeah, so I had to play Kieran, which is always a pleasure. And usually you smash me, and to be honest, by rights you probably should have. But
Kieran's got the Witch King and 4 unnamed ring wraiths on horse.
Yeah, so he's got 5 mounted ring wraiths.
It's just awful.
Yeah, Keely died without him taking 1 footstep. It was
black dart.
4 black darts, 4 wounds. So 3 on Keely, 1 on Feely.
How many is he using to cast it? 1 and getting 5?
Or 4 and using a might point. Because all his wraiths have got at least 2 might.
Oh, that's grim.
And then it's like forced to wound. He's like, yep, he's dead, take him off. And I mean, to be fair to Kieran, he did charge in.
But they all wounded, so 2 fate, 2 wounds. Like that.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah. So Keely died without him doing anything, so Tario went. Yeah. Beep.
Damn it, Sam!
Sorry. I'm here. Sorry. Tario went crazy.
She went crazy.
She went crazy at the death of her beloved. Which didn't make much of a difference. But, yeah, so I kind of ran forwards because what else can you do against ring wraiths? expecting Kieran
What
to...
else can you do in the face of death?
Yes.
Go on living.
Yeah. Do Bekar. Keep calm and do Bekar. And to be fair to Kieran, he met the dwarves head on and charged straight into them after doing a load of magic stuff.
Correct.
Yeah. Transfixes. I mean, to be fair, Thorin resisted everything thrown at him. He resisted 3 transfixes and the 4th one snuck through. And then 3 mounted wraiths set up on him.
He needs yourself some Galadriel.
Yeah. Yeah, she wasn't a Ravenhill though. So Thorin died not having spent a might point. Feely got black darted while in combat. And so it was down to Tariel and Bilbo.
Kill team extreme.
Yes. So Tariel got killed by 2 wraiths, but as she did, they faded into nothing because they was on their last will.
Brilliant.
So we was left with Bilbo and the Witch King. And the Witch King was on 2 or 3 will, and Bilbo had been compelled to put the ring on. And before we get to the end of the story, after the Witch King killed Thorin, he'd hurt combated. And not knowing if it's right or not, but Kieran had dismounted before he charged Bilbo.
Right.
So he moved, dismounted, because he wanted the Witch King to fight Bilbo in one-on-one combat, which was silly. You know, any other game, you'd run him down.
Yeah.
You'd charge him with the horse and just go, stupid hobbit.
Hasn't he won already?
Pretty much.
No, but I mean, isn't
No, because it's taken hold, so it's models within 60 objective.
Isn't if Bilbo's the only model left alive with the ring?
Ignores.
Oh, he ignores that bit.
Yeah, he ignores.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
We had that discussion. Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, that's the part of Sauron's will rule or something.
Yeah. So yeah, he got off his horse for some unknown reason.
Because it's Kieran.
Because it's Kieran, yeah. And to be fair, it looked cool. There will be a photo that probably appears on Facebook of the Witch King fighting Bilbo. And I was able to get priority, because neither of us had any might. I was able to take the ring off using my last will points to pass the test.
Right.
So I could then charge the Witch King, use his last point of will in combat.
Can he not? Why didn't he take the ring off?
Because while the ring's on, the Witch King doesn't give up a will point of being in the fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've ever...
So having the ring on is actually beneficial to the ring race. I mean, he did manage to sneak a wound through. He rolled 666, so 6 to win the fight, 6 to wound, 6 to wound. It took 2 fate off the Witch King, and then next turn was able to pop him by.
Hey, Bilbo.
So Bilbo was the last man standing.
Outstanding.
So that was a 2-1 win. 2-1 win.
Won.
Yeah, that was a good game. I mean, playing Kieran always is good. So that was a win, a draw, and a loss, and then I had to play Dan Huckvale.
Oh, cool.
His all-mounted Rohan heroes at Breakthrough, which is the modified recon.
Yep.
And I can't, right, so I've got 4 5-inch move models as my scouts. He's got 1 10-inch Aemir.
As a scout?
As his scout. So his leader was Aemir, but not Knight of the Pelennor, thankfully. And that was also his spy scout. And I had, obviously, Thorin's warband with my scouts.
Is it because they were all heroes, so you just had to pick one?
Yeah,
to be
pick
the
one.
scout?
Because
Right.
you pick a warband.
Yeah.
So he had Aemir, Theoden, Theodred, Gamling, and Oakenbrand, all on horse.
That's quite cool.
And Gamling had his banner. And I kind of looked together, there's no way I can really win this because the dwarves are just going to get ridden down. They'll survive a few turns, but they're just going to get ridden down. And Tariel's not going to get anywhere near the fight because she's chasing a horse.
Yeah.
So I don't bother her much, I just walk forward. I think only Theoden turns up, or only one of his heroes turns up first turn, so he kind of hangs back. And next turn, the rest of them turn up and all start charging forward. I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to get off. You know, I've only moved on 9 inches. So we just turn around and start fighting them, getting all stuck. Aemir comes in and then he's stuck in the melee, you can't get him out. Because I'm constantly winning priority. So
How else did you bring him on anywhere near you?
Because he was going down the middle, and where I was kind of deployed, he had to go through them. I mean, he could have gone way left, but I think the red mist kind of descended, and he just wanted to kill dwarves. But I got quite lucky with priorities. She was having to use a lot of might for her moves, which meant Aemir couldn't then jump out because he was caught in the with me.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, the banner in an all-hero the banner of Rohan is awesome.
Yeah.
He must have had 20 extra might points. You know, be like, right, so everyone's heroic striking, start the turn, everyone gets a might point back.
Yeah.
Eventually, I was able to wear them down. Bilbo, the Bane of Rohan, I think managed to kill...
Bane of the Witch King.
Bane, yeah, Bilbo, Bane of everything. He killed Theodred, took his last wound. I'm pretty sure he got Theoden or Oakenbrand.
Nice.
But there was one awesome move where Thorin had been knocked over and charged by Theodred, who was on 1 wound. obviously looking to get a sneaky wound on him. Tario and Bilbo then charged in. Thorin called his figure out combat. Obviously, Bilbo then shanked Theodred. Thorin then gets up, and all three of them just split into his remaining heroes and killed them all.
Oh, that's standing.
Yeah, because he's like, I'll be alright. Thorin's on the floor. Alright, combat. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Tario and Bilbo will take him out anyway. Kill Theoden. I think kill Gambling. I think there was one left alive.
Got rid of the damn banner.
Yeah. Well, by then I broke him and 25% of him in the same turn. So that was a 6-0 win.
Cool.
So 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss.
And I am on 2 wins and 2 losses, if you've been keeping up. So you're doing better than me.
Yes.
Honestly.
Which I'm surprised about, if I'm honest, because my list is purely fluff.
Yeah, this is lovely.
Yeah.
I think I never had a chance against Ian, so I can't begrudge that. But obviously the jury, it was such a good game, like so much fun. But you know, it comes down to like a courage test for a dwarf.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not fair.
Yeah.
You know? But it was such a nice bloke.
That would have been 9-7, wouldn't it, if you hit
No, it would have been. It was 8-7 to him, so it would have been 9-8 to me.
9-8, yeah.
Based on one courage test, but you know, cracking into it.
Yeah. That's
But yeah, I mean that's largely me scuppered. Yeah, I mean if you, it's going to be tough with your army.
So I'm playing Mr. Josh Triffitt tomorrow, So the first game tomorrow is the supply run, which is the modified seize the prize.
So seize the prize, but with 3 prizes.
And I'm playing Josh Triffitt's filthy Goblin Town.
Yeah, that's alright.
And I've not got Orcrist, but I have got Sting. So I'm hoping Bilbo will become
Takes down the Goblin King.
Bilbo Goblin Kingbane.
Yeah, you're going to struggle in that, aren't you, just to get the things because they're heavy objects.
Yeah, but the goblins also move at a slow pace. I'm quite confident in killing goblins. You know, Tario will love a horde of goblins.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, Josh is a fairly good player, so if he's
Well, actually, I found she struggles against Goblin Town because they support them. They support each other. They'll put 2 on her and put 2 supports in. So they've got 4 attacks. You've got 4 attacks.
Yeah. Once she starts running out of might, you know, if you can get the jump on her, she may kill a few, but she will go down quite quick.
But and I believe I've got Larry Miller, which would be an awesome draw for me and potentially make up for the Ian Spiller draw. Yeah. I think he's got Aragorn,
Leggy,
and Thorin.
Yeah, and
Megalus.
Yeah, Megalus.
All mounted, which you know could be good, and you've been doing alright with it. But at supply run, it's like the same problem. You'll have 3 models. He has to dismount to get any of the hero.
And the heavy prizes is half move unless there's 2 of you.
Yeah. It's a heavy object.
So it might just be dig up and stand there.
So again, assuming that is the draw, I would hope to come through that one with a win and then see where the tournament takes me really. But so care to make a prediction for yourself?
If I get 1 more win out of the 3 games tomorrow, I'll be happy. Because one win will put me on 3 wins, a draw, and potentially 3 losses, which means I've lost less than. I always try and go positive.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't lose 4, then that's a bonus for me. So a win and 2 losses tomorrow will be fine.
I think I'm going to win 2 tomorrow. I think I'm going to win the first one, then lose to some filth near the top tables, and then. I'm
quite looking forward to. Is it total domination?
Yeah.
Because I've got all heroes, so.
That's crazy. Yeah, the way that works.
That's points for killing heroes and
That's cut the head off the snake.
Is it?
Yeah.
That one. I'm looking forward to
That's the one we get points for killing heroes.
Yeah.
But you've got a lot of heroes to give points away.
That's true.
I've only got 2 heroes, I'm pretty pleased with that. And one of them's Legolas. Patang snipe, you do.
Have I got Master Burglar Bilbo?
Assassinator.
Yes.
Assassinator Extreme.
Yes, he's awesome. I've fallen in love with him.
Yeah, he's great. He's good. Bilbo's so much fun to use.
And the actual Master Burglar model is fantastic.
Beautiful. Yeah, really, really good.
Even though I've been using Invisible Frodo.
See, I never do that now with him. Whenever I'm using him, I brought to your tournament. I brought the invisible one, but I just like the Master Burglar.
It's handy to know that he's invisible. But
someone at Destination Stockport, did you see it? They got the Master Burglar model and they cast it in acrylic.
Did they?
So they had invisible Master Burglar, which
I know awesome. Someone's done an invisible golem.
Yeah.
Kev got it as a present.
Kev got it, yeah. That was a very cool idea.
Yeah.
Sorry, we may well have rambled, but hey, these videos are there for you to paint along to, and I hope you've enjoyed hearing about Sam's exploits.
Yes.
So we're going to call it a night now, relatively early and feeling quite good.
Yeah, we've still got 2 hours before Kieran may or may not show up. But
and
I'm sure you'll be long asleep.
I'm sure you'll all rejoin us sometime tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Cheers for that.